Oh man, I have so many people that I look up to. I mean, everybody from, it's in every book. I just finished Jerry Rice's book, and he was a famous wide receiver for San Francisco. And I saw his work ethic, and I wasn't a huge Jerry Rice fan until I had a person I looked up to tell me about him, and I decided I was going to read his book because I wanted to know more about him. And I see that there's so many people out there that you can look up to for different reasons, and I try to find people that I can find parallels in. I mentor with this guy Bo Eason, who's a speaker, and I found a lot of parallels in his life where he had just, he'd been a football player and something happened with his career, and he had to refocus and find a new career and find something new. And I always found it interesting that people could, because it's one thing to just be lucky and find some, stumble onto a business or you inherited some money or whatever that is. But how do you do that again? How do you so that you're not a one-hit wonder? How do you reproduce that same situation again? And this was what made Bo interesting to me, because he had success. He became this football player in the NFL, and not only did he, but his brother did too. So what was going on in their family that allowed them to achieve something at that level? And then he loses that opportunity because of an injury, and then he finds his way back to the top again, and then nothing really happens, but then he excels beyond that and finds another opportunity. So how does somebody reproduce that over and over again? It's got to be mindset. It's got to be something that's going on in here that commitment, that hard work, that idea that if I apply myself, that I can do anything that I want to do. I just decide, and especially once after you have a success. I've seen that a lot because my company did over $100 million in sales a year. I started to realize that once I achieved that, I was like, this is more than I'd ever thought I could ever do. And I wanted to find, what else can I do? What else can I be successful in? I started other businesses, and it just became, I didn't have that, I wasn't worried about failing anymore like I was when I started my first company, because I'd realized that I had broke through that barrier. I figured out how to break through that barrier. And so everything just became, I started another company and that became successful, and then I started a real estate company and that became successful. And then it felt like everything I did, I mean, I had some failures too, but it felt like everything that I did, I just was not worried. I always felt like that if I just did the work and put the time in, that good things would happen. And that's what happened. And I love that you can help other people understand that idea. And that's pretty much my goal now, is just to get out and spread that word. I always feel like I'm the least smartest guy in this room. And that's why I think I overcompensate with hard work, because I feel like I need to work harder than everybody else. So if I had a superpower, I'd probably have to say that it was just that I'm willing to outwork everybody. Like, there's nobody in this room that's gonna outwork me. And so I don't really say I have it like a superpower. Like, I'm not the smartest dude in the room. I'm not the strongest guy here. I'm not the best looking, but I will outwork you every day, every single time we go head to head. 15 years ago, if you'd asked me how I'd like to be remembered, it's definitely not the same answer I would give today. But now I just think, my partner died like 15 years ago, and I get emotional just thinking about it. He died like 5 years ago, and we started the company like 15 years ago together. And we were like best friends for 20 years, and just everything we did, we were like best friends. We did everything together. And starting this company, it was so important to us. And the times of sitting down, we would go to Carl's Jr. and just sit there for hours talking about what we were going to do and how we were going to start this business. And he once said that after he passed away, I found books inside of his office, And I started going through them, and he'd always write these quotes down, and I was going through one of the books, and I was finding all these different quotes, and I found this quote that he said, I might not be the guy that touches 1 million people, but maybe I can be the guy that touches that one that touches 1 million. And that's kind of what I would like to be remembered for. I just want to touch that one person that maybe I can always have that. I can always have that within myself, that I helped that kid that helped change the world, or help bring some new business, or change his family's life, or whatever that is. I love to hear those success stories. That's all I just want to be that person.